Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 44 of the African Do podcast. Today, we're very privileged to have with us Magdalene Muthee of Mosoro, Afya, who do a wide variety of flours from indigenous ingredients and others, and we'll hear a lot more about that business and what they're doing. Magdalene, welcome to the African Do podcast.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Leonard, for having me.
Excellent. So, Magdalene, unga doesn't strike me as something that would hit you as a career option in school. So if we're to go back to your schooling days, how do you find yourself in this career line? Where did you come from to find yourself here? What did you study?
I studied Bachelor of Commerce.
Yeah.
I specialized in marketing, but then this was the only option that I could pick as an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Because I always knew that I'd be an entrepreneur, probably coming from a family background where my parents are entrepreneurs.
Okay.
And uncles, aunties, grandparents were all entrepreneurs. So I never quite imagined myself in a corporate setting. So I went to Strathmore University.
Yes.
I did BCom because BCom was the closest thing to marketing then. Sorry, to entrepreneurship then. And there was no specialization for entrepreneurship, which is available now in the university. But now looking at all options, finance, procurement, HR, marketing was more relatable for an entrepreneur compared to all other options. Yeah.
Yes. So when you say you come from a family of entrepreneurs, what maybe you can just highlight to us, what are they entrepreneuring in? You know, the various things that they are doing that inspired you to choose this path.
My parents are in the construction industry.
Okay.
And also that we had a hotel. Also they ran a timber yard,
Wow.
a workshop where they do furniture. Yes. So also from my mom's side, everybody is in timber business.
Yes.
Whether it is the very initial processing or making doors, frames, and things like that. Yeah.
So you've been exposed. That's where you grew up, or that's what you grew up seeing.
Yes.
And you figured it's best to just follow in the footsteps of
Not even
what?
best. I'd never had a view of any other life.
Yeah.
So that is what I've known how to do and sort of led to do. Because then as you grow, you look in your environment and you'd be given advice about what your life would be like, the things you're supposed to do to be able to become this person. So that is what I have been taught over the years.
Did you spend any time in these businesses in your younger days?
Oh, yes, I did.
Yeah.
I have been to almost all of my father's projects.
Yes.
And even actually worked. My father would have us work in his business. And now leaving university, I immediately went to work for him. Yes. So that is something we were exposed to. I was really exposed to as a child and also post studies. Yeah.
Excellent. So now you finish Strathmore.
Yes.
You've got your BCom marketing degree. What next?
I began working for my parents in management level. I wanted to help their businesses be more corporate. So
Better structured.
to introduce structures and help them run in a more organized way. I actually made the request to work for them. I do not know why, because them being in construction, my father would have my brothers study in that particular line.
Yes.
But with me, it was different. He never actually expressly said that he wanted me to be in the business. I made that particular request, and I knew exactly what I wanted to go do there. And yeah, so
Did you succeed in structuring?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes, I did, and we got to do that very well.
So you're very fortunate then, because I have enough examples of battles that exist between parents and offspring around those changes that are required to structure family-owned businesses into a corporate setting. You don't seem to have had that problem.
It was there, but I have been very convincing to my
Okay.
father,
Okay.
and he would allow me that space.
Has he seen the benefits of this structuring?
Yes, he has.
Okay.
Yes, he has.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So then, how do we find ourselves now at Mosoro?
Yeah, so my father then bought a hotel. It was a very sudden decision. I was actually on maternity leave, and he bought the hotel. My newborn was 2 months old, and he gave me a call and said, Maggie, I've opened a hotel and I'd like for you to run it. Are you available to come on board? Because then in the very initial stages, he didn't quite have an idea of what needed to be done. So I asked him, have you already paid for the hotel? He said, yes, I already have the hotel. Do you even know which menu? Do you have any idea of how you're going to go about it? And he says, no, that's where I'm giving you a call. I'd like for you to do this. So I went to run the hotel. Well, at the hotel, we picked up really well. And soon after, COVID hit. When COVID hit, then we were home. And because the hotel had hotel rooms, we were dependent on foreigners to book.
How big was the hotel?
Not so big. We had 25 rooms.
Okay.
We had 25 rooms, a restaurant, a club, yes, which was also open to the community there.
Yeah.
And so when COVID hit, I also having a very new family, I went back home because I was scared. We had no idea what this thing was. So while at home, it's when I began to research and read more about food and nutrition, as then it felt like the safest thing to count on, because our hospitals were failing, and we knew that if you have a strong immune system, then you're very likely to survive COVID. So this is when I began reading, experimenting on different foods that would support our health. Yes.
What does that experimenting look like?
A lot of reading, and then now looking, then which are the nutrients that you are looking for to achieve a particular dietary need. So once you identify, maybe we need protein, how much protein do we need in a day? Which are the
Sources.
ingredients, yes, that would give us this protein.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that, and eventually I got stuck with nuts and seeds. So you'll find all our products are made from nuts and seeds. So that is groundnuts, almonds, cashew nuts, flax seeds, sesame seeds. Yes.
Okay.
So they are now looking, actually our products then would have very high protein levels because we found that protein is very key for almost everything, including our bone health. We would mainly incline to say that we need a lot of calcium, but if you check, protein is more important for strong and healthy bones. Protein is important for our brain. It's important for immunity, for recovery. So our products are very high in protein. And yeah, so we would look for a particular dietary need and then put together a formulation to support that
And this
particular
you're
need.
doing, you're now doing just at home because it's the pandemic time, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, some of the product some of the ingredients you've mentioned are not locally available
Yes.
ingredients. So things like almonds, flax seeds, those are imported products.
Yes.
So how did you go about in this experimentation phase? Where do you source these ingredients from?
Because remember, initially I was doing this for myself and for my family.
Yes.
And actually, then that was one of the biggest challenges, or maybe a blessing, because I was more focused on solutions than looking for an ingredient and trying to force it into the market. And yeah, so we have a lot of companies importing almonds into the country, coming from mainly California. Flax seeds, we have them locally actually.
Or grown
Flaxseed,
locally?
Yes, in East Africa.
Mm.
Flaxseed, chia seeds, we have them, sesame seeds,
Mm.
it's our simsim.
Okay.
Yes, we have them locally, and we also have some coming from India.
So how was the uptake with your family? Because it was originally,
Ah,
I don't think it's transitioned yet into a business idea. You're
yes.
now feeding your family and you want to feed them better. So how was
Mm,
the uptake? What products did you create, and what dishes did you then come and make for your family to consume based
mm.
on those products?
Our very first product was a pancake mix,
Mm-hmm.
which we actually do not have in the market. So that's the very first formulation I did,
Mm.
and I needed it to be gluten free. I needed it to be very high in protein. I needed it to be a healthy alternative to
Mm-hmm.
pancakes. And yeah, we made it, and
What did it have?
it had oats, it had almonds as well, and then now the raising agents.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd create the product, have people eat, take to my parents to sample, take to my friends to taste, just to get their feedback.
Mm-hmm.
And taste is a big deal.
Mm.
Well, people are looking for foods to eat that are healthy. You would find for you to have this consistently in your day-to-day life, it
Yeah.
has to be delicious. Otherwise, you would struggle through it on one day, and then the next,
Mm-hmm.
you would sort of avoid it.
Okay.
So then taste was very key
Mm-hmm.
when making these formulations, and they loved it. So I kept doing that, and uh, actually during this particular period, my my mom got sick, and I would not because she got sick, I would make for her porridge and send it to her in Nakuru. It was during COVID, there was lockdown. She's unwell, and you cannot
Travel.
travel to go see her. And even if you manage to get to the other side, you risk taking COVID to her and
Mm-hmm.
making things worse. So I would make porridge flour for her
Mm-hmm.
just with my blender and
What flour is
send
this?
it to her. It had oats, almonds, peanuts, pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, cassava, and turmeric.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we roast the seeds and the nuts. We roast the oats as well. I blend it with a blender, package it, sent it to her in Nakuru.
Mm-hmm.
Then she was barely eating. But now when she got this flight, became the only food that she could eat for months. And she began to feel better. So I just thought, why not package this particular product? I branded it and I put it out on social media, and the response was overwhelming. And
Really?
actually, that is how we began.
Oh, really?
Yes.
But before you even get to the response, what
Uh-huh.
informed the mix?
A lot
When
of
you picked
research.
when you picked those specific ingredients and said this is going
Mm,
to be the mix that I'll make
yeah.
for this porridge for my mom, what informed that?
For her, because she was barely eating, we needed fast. It had to be very easy to take. Because, when you're sick, you're not likely to chew as
Mm-hmm.
much.
Mm-hmm.
That is why porridge is very popular. You want something that is very easy to cook. That is why we went for nuts that are already pre-roasted. So it's very easy to cook, and also having them roasted prior ensures that it is very gentle on her gut. And also, we needed something that, in case she cannot eat any other food, then we are sure that she's had something that she's able to get her recommended daily intakes for nutrients for that particular day. So we needed it to be very nutrient dense, very easy to cook, and also gentle on her gut,
Okay.
because then she had gut issues, and anything she would eat, she would throw her up, has a very low appetite, stays by herself, and so nobody to cook for her. And she was very quickly losing weight, growing weaker by the day. We needed something to be able to support her during that period, even to be able to regain energy so
Okay.
that she can take care of
Okay.
herself. Yeah.
Okay, so you then package this
Yes.
based on the positive feedback and success you've had with your mom.
Yeah.
You package this and launch it through social media.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about that journey. How does that go?
Ah, I called it the immune booster porridge flour.
Mm-hmm.
I posted it on social media, gave people a background. So on the caption you see what this product is, what it has, and now there are people who needed it for that particular need. And for that particular need, they're looking for something to boost their immunity, for body recovery, to boost their energy levels. And then now, for this particular product, then we start to get requests. When once you talk like that on social media, it was very early on. We didn't have a lot of such topics there. And so we get so many people asking for different solutions. They're looking for solutions for their bone health, solutions for men, for diabetics. So then requests became so many. And now we had to go back again and read again and research and find out more solutions to be able to create more products.
And how is this product packaged? You're just using what, brown paper bags with a label, or how exactly are you doing it?
I did it well. Because you see this product is very high in fats, very high in protein. So you need to package it well for a longer shelf life and also for stability. So I had to get a packaging that has a film and properly seal it. Otherwise, it would go bad very quickly. So we actually did it very well with it was kind of simple. We've improved it a bit. We've had our second type of packaging. We have now a second type of packaging, but then we needed something that would not get in moisture to ensure that the product would get to the customer safely. Yeah.
And tell us a bit about the uptick, the sales. How were those initial?
Yeah, the response was overwhelming. And then I got now to learn about ads. Having a background in marketing, also at the hotel, my main sales acquisition channel was social media. So I had some knowledge about running ads. I put out ads, and actually for this particular product, we will get so many requests from men saying that this product would be very good for male reproductive health. And it took me quite some time to understand what they actually mean. So now going back to understand what the market says, because this product was branded Immune Booster Porridge Flour. And then there are who needs immunity. For me, it was the sickly, the elderly, lactating moms, for babies. So that was the communication that I was selling. But on the comment section, as I had properly listed the ingredients there, we had so many men coming to the comment section, and they would place an order. And once we send them the product, they would not relate. Say, no, we see that this product is written for breastfeeding moms. We want, but we see on the comments that they say that this is a product for men. So we just made a few changes. Also, after some research, to increase the zinc content in this particular product. And we added an ingredient called mukombero to this product. And now we called it Men's Health Porridge Flour. We gave it a different packaging. So this was black in color. We gave it a different packaging with its name. And now that was our second porridge flour that we introduced. And it performed, it's actually now our best selling product in the market. So actually then customers would come in, ask, is this particular product safe for diabetics? And we'd go back and check, because now then this becomes very serious questions that the market is asking, and you cannot just respond
Casually.
without knowledge. So we go and check then what would be the best product for them, what do they need. We go back to formulation, talk to dietitians, food scientists, and then come up with another product. We also check with people who have had maybe this condition for some time. How do different foods respond to them? And then actually then that is how we brought in one product after another.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And what did the men see in your product, that you were blind to? That in that communication, what are these ingredients that made them say Because you say they read the ingredients, and that's what triggered them to say, but this thing should be good for us also.
Yeah, it's hard. The Immune Booster porridge flour has pumpkin seeds, which is very high in zinc. It has cassava, also very popular for men. It has almonds, also very good for men. And it has groundnuts,
Okay.
very good for men.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what triggered.
Yes.
But up until this time, you're still in your house?
Yes.
So now, how is the transition to now a fully fledged business?
So now, you remember I was in a hotel setting.
Yes.
So I had experience running a commercial kitchen. And also formulating these products. It was baking, roasting, grinding with a blender. I did not have prior exposure to running a factory. I thought I was running a kitchen. But when numbers began to grow, then we see a problem, because then this is my home, the same kitchen that I'm using to prepare food for my family. We have kids there who are very curious, and it's, of course, the aroma of nuts smells so nice, and they want to be all over, to try to touch. So I had to move. I had to get space. I step out, and I get a small space outside my home, still planning to run the commercial kitchen. And so orders begin to increase. Yeah, remember I told you that this idea came about during COVID, but later I left home to open my space in November of 2022.
Okay.
So I just take normal space. I still think that I'm running a kitchen, and now I import a spice grinder, because you see our normal posho mill
Yes.
cannot mill this
That fine.
particular
Yeah.
ingredients, also because they have a lot of oil.
Oil because of the nuts.
Yes.
Okay.
So now when you start to do in mass production, now you start to see gaps, and it becomes so frustrating, and you realize, because now we are not even talking about product development, which was maybe the most exciting thing, to offer people solutions, to
Yes.
read about the people with diabetes, to read about men and come up with a solution for them. But now when so many of them are ordering, now you need to think about production.
Yes.
So then this became my biggest pain. How do I scale to be able to meet this demand?
Yes.
And I make a friend from a purchase I was making, and she asks me what I do, and I tell her what I do. She invited me to a USAID conference. It was a Women's Day conference, and tells me, "Oh, come, actually, your products would do so well here, and they have an opportunity to exhibit." It was here at Kempinski. So I go and I exhibit my products, and a lady from USAID approaches me and asks me, "Magdalene, would you like some money?" And I look at her. "Would you like some money? Are you looking to fundraise?" And I look at her and say, "I don't know what I need money for." She stared at me and walked away. A few weeks later, she gave me a call and said, "There's a program that we have introduced. It will be happening at Strathmore University. I'd like for you to attend." And at first, what is this about? I need to pay 10,000 shillings. What value will I get? And she called me like 3 times. I never signed up. And then on the day the program began, she says, "I insist that you come." So I went for this program. It was for women in agribusiness.
Yes.
So now I'm in a space where we have women doing agro-processing for the very first time. And this completely changed my view of the business, because then now I was able to see what I need to do. And this helped me to change my perspective. Here I was given a coach who I tell her this is my business model. I was very I had very good flyers, very good catalogs, very beautiful catalogs. So then I'm trying to show her what I do. I'm telling her my numbers, which I just begun and I think I'm doing great. And she tells me, you have no business. Your business model cannot work. So she says there are things I need to do, and I do not understand her because I think that
What things did she
I'm doing
mention?
so well that you need KEB certification, you
Yes.
need these particular licenses. Are
Yeah.
you working on them? And I'm like, no, this is what I
I'm
wanted.
selling.
This is what I want to do. I knew that I would be sort of a cereal shop, but with very nice formulations. You see the way you would have them with their uji mix that they are just blending there. So I thought that that is what would happen. And she tells me, no, you cannot grow like that. Unfortunately, that conversation was cut short. I didn't understand what she means. I didn't understand. I felt like I was left hanging, and it was quite frustrating. But there was a lady, it was a group coaching, so everybody would present their case and they're given advice. So one lady noticed and she pulled me aside and told me what the coach is saying. I think the coach was very blunt and maybe very straightforward and was not ready for that conversation then. So she pulls me aside and tells me, this is how you can continue to sell now without getting into regulatory issues, but this is an opportunity. There is an opportunity for growth. And here she told me I could visit Kirdi to get support, that I could visit Kirdi, and also I could talk to KCIC, Kenya Climate Innovation Center. They have programs where they can incubate me to
Yes.
get support to be able to grow. So after the program, immediately I pick up on that. I join KCIC and I begin my training. KCIC would offer. They have an agribiz program.
Yes.
So you would get support and even technical support around agro processing. I visit Kirby, they didn't have an opening, but soon after I find out about a factory similar to Kirby. And it is sort of an incubation center
yeah.
where you can go do your production
Yes.
and then just sell to the market. So here they'd have the machinery and also offer you training to know how to handle things like cassava. Now you see we are growing, and I need to, if I pick ready-made cassava in the market, I'm not sure of the shelf life, of the hygiene, so my product does not become stable. I cannot guarantee my product. With mass production, then you start to notice these gaps. And remember, we are using so many ingredients in our formulations. How do we control each and every ingredient to ensure that our product is stable?
Yeah.
So I found out about a different facility called Somo, and I begin my production there. I still keep my production space, because I
And who are
have
Somo?
Somo are similar to
Kirdi.
Kirdi. They're similar to Kirdi, but now a private organization, so you can go and do your production there.
Okay.
I do my production there. I still have my factory, my small space in Rwai, where we do our bookkeeping and where we would come in to manage our calls, store our products, and we also pick up location in CBD to manage our logistics. So yes, we do production in Somo, and in a few months, we have a bottleneck. We still have demand, but production is a problem, because you see, this is a borrowed facility. You need to book to go in. Sometimes when your when your stock runs out, you need to go. You need to book to do production. So we would constantly have gaps in the market.
To understand this space where you go to produce,
Yes,
what do they have that you don't have in your small facility?
they had a milling machine that was working for us.
Yeah.
With food processing, there's equipments like a good sink, a working surface. They may seem small, but they are very relevant. They have a very good roaster for roasting our nuts, so we are able to produce more, even with a single day, because the milling machine I had would do a kilo at a time, and a kilo to mill it very well would take about 5 minutes. And by the time I'm getting to 20 kilos, the machine is
overheating.
yes, you have to give it time to rest. Now, but going to Somo, I would do weekly production with in a single day.
Yes.
And get better output for my products.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we realized that we need our own production space, because then again with Somo, we have to do just in time production.
Yes.
So that means as soon as the raw materials arrive, we have to do production. We have to have our team for production present. So we have no time to reject raw materials. We have no space to store raw materials. So what happens when maybe one raw material comes and it is not up to par? I already have my staff present, and so there are those challenges. Or sometimes we want to do production, but another entrepreneur has already booked the space.
Okay.
So we began our fundraising journey to be able to set up the factory. We were then being incubated by KCIC, and that particular year they had their very first investment summit. There is where I met GBF, Grassroots Business Fund. We began the conversation, and a few months later, I got a loan, and I began setting up the factory that we are now in. Now that is in 2020.
So does the experience you have at the likes of Somo and Kirdi guide your design of your facility?
Yes. And because then I had no prior knowledge of what food processing looks like. So then the same machine that I found at Kirdi, then I just mimicked what was important for me at Kirdi, and I made sure that this is what I'll buy and have it at our factory.
And where were you buying these machines from?
We bought all our machines locally.
Okay.
But they are coming from India.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So you and is it in this same your small space, or you've now moved to a bigger space?
We have moved to a bigger space.
Yes. And what does that space look like? It's a go down, or it's a factory-like space?
Yeah. Yes, a factory-like space, a big hall.
Okay.
Actually, when we found it, it was a shed.
Okay.
And so we talked to the landlord, and the landlord is happy to complete the building for us. And we moved in. It took about 2 months to finish up construction so that we can come in.
And other than machinery, what do you lay out in this space to achieve now to become this food processor that you?
Yes, you would need to consider your process line. So how do raw materials come in? What do you need to do until the final product leaves your factory? So designing that particular layout, it is important to get an expert to come in and support you with that.
Where did you find this expert?
Now within the same network
of KCIC.
Yes, within the same network. Now you have peers in the industry. You have a couple of people you can consult. You have friends that you can visit their factories now and see what they are doing. How did they do it? Yes, so a lot of learning through networking.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And how far along are we?
Now,
what year are we by this time?
2024.
2024, you're
Yes,
getting,
in
that's last
April.
year, you're getting the GBF loan, you're going to set up the space.
Yes.
Okay. And now, 2024 to date, how has that journey been?
Now, setting up the space increased our production capacity. So we are able to, even if we do not have the product in store, if you place an order, we would be very quick to do production, because now it is our space. We can store raw materials. We can be able to source better from farmers. So setting up, adjusting, and building our working capital has been the journey throughout this year. We eventually get our certifications from KEBS, and now this year we have been very aggressive in the market, partnering with supermarkets like Chandarana Supermarket to have our products there. Yes. Actually, last year then is when we had the partnership with Harriet Botanicals to do their production.
Yeah.
So it was very timely.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. So now you're up and running. You're an agri. You're now a formal agri processor. Is that a fair comment?
Yes.
And what does let's speak a bit about your back journey, your relationship with farmers, where you're sourcing your products, any challenges that you may be facing on that front.
Yes. Now with growth, because you remember initially we would buy in very small quantities.
Mm-hmm.
Now when you need bigger volumes, can be a challenge. And now we have to go for raw materials like the tubers. We have to go back to the farmer because you want something that is fresh, something that is traceable. As with our formulation, if you have just one bad raw material,
Messes up the whole thing.
yes, and yet the value of our products is very high, so you will incur a very big loss.
So
Now going back,
let's pick cassava
Mhm.
as an example
Yes.
and walk us through your cassava journey from sourcing to the time it makes it into your
Yes.
to processing it to the time it makes it into your product.
Now, when cassava, we get our cassava from two regions, depending on availability. Also, one is Nambale, that is in Western Kenya, or in Embu. So once the farmer harvests the cassava,
Sorry, any specific reason why those two regions?
initially we began sourcing from Embu, but later when we discovered Western is cheaper.
Okay, fair enough.
Western is cheaper and they do a lot of tuber farming. So
Excellent.
cassava, sweet potato, arrow roots, you'd get them at compared to Embu would be 4 times more expensive. Yeah.
That significant.
Yes.
Okay. So you question
Yes.
answered. So you get the product, yeah?
Yes. You get cassava from the farmer, and then
How does the farmer get to understand your standards so that they can meet them?
within that particular region, or actually in our rural areas, we have a lot of organizations that are already supporting these ecosystems.
Okay.
So you would find in Nambale the variety of cassava being planted is very specific. The sweet potato being planted because we already have institutions that are supporting the ecosystem within this region. Yes.
Okay.
And especially if they find that tubers are doing so well in this region, they just support them to do more of that. So once we harvest, we remove the peel and we remove the core. It is washed, it is chipped, and then put in a solar dryer.
Is that done here or done
It is done there.
on site at the farmers?
Yes.
Okay.
It is chipped, put in a solar dryer. Takes 2-3 days to dry, depending on the weather, and then it's when it comes to Nairobi.
Okay.
Yes, so to Nairobi, it would be merged with other raw materials. So, say for example, like the immune booster, then you would merge it with oats, almonds, peanuts, pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, now to get the porridge flour that we sell to our customers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any initiative that you know of that is trying to localize some of the imported ingredients that you use? Is that an opportunity?
For we use a lot of oats, which is imported, coming from Europe. But we have oats available in Narok. Though we do not have any factory that processes oats to be fit for human consumption. So the oats that we have locally are mostly given
horses.
to animal feeds, even cows. So there is where there'd be a very good opportunity, as a country, we're importing a lot of oats, but there's still a gap. Because if if it is used for human consumption, then the farmer would be able to get better value of their produce compared to
Of your core
animal.
basket of ingredients, yeah. Oats is imported, almonds. Which other ones are imported products?
Oats and almonds.
Oh, those are the main ones.
Yes, because our cashew nuts, we get them from Kilifi.
Mm-hmm.
Groundnuts, still, we get them within East Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Pumpkin seeds within East Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Our tubers, would get them locally.
Okay.
So just oats and almonds. Oats is where the opportunity is. With almonds, we do not have almond farming in Kenya. The only nuts that we are farming would be cashew nuts and macadamia. Yes.
Okay. Is almond a tree that can grow in Kenya? Do you know?
I looked into it.
Yes.
It can, but we have
We have never gone down that route.
yes.
Okay, probably something worthy out there. If there's anyone looking to grow almonds, experiment. Yeah, you have a ready customer here
Yeah.
in Magdalene. So, Magdalene, is it fair to say that your capitalization of your business journey, I shudder to say simple, but has been relatively simple? Is it a case of you being at the right place at the right time? Because you've not, or I haven't heard from you, a struggle in that funding. Yeah, you had this idea, and things seem to kind of have fallen into place. You had some knowledge gaps at some times which you managed to fill, and you are aware of. But your funding journey, is it fair to say that it has been a relatively simple? And if yes, why?
No, it has not been simple.
Okay.
It is. I think over time,
Yeah.
when you get over challenges,
Yes.
you realize that the stress and pressure that you felt then, it's just
It's
that
it's just part of the
you
journey.
forget it.
Yeah.
You forget it, and you feel the pressure for tomorrow.
Yes.
But it took some time.
Okay.
It took some time to change my mindset. I was recently doing my business plan, and the numbers that I was projecting, or the amount of funding that I want to raise now, is it's very high. And I remember back in KCIC, I'd do my business plan and I would not get to 1 million. It was so difficult for me to consume that amount of money because my mind had not expanded to see such a big vision.
So where are you? 10
change
times, 100 times? Where are you now?
100 times.
Wow.
So
Okay.
to change my mindset was the biggest struggle. To be able to see this big vision and to really envision the journey. I know a lot of people would fundraise and throw just a number, but for me, I would have to really see it, envision it, and believe it, so that I can go for it.
Okay.
And I really, really struggled. I was pushed to write a bigger business plan, but it was not natural for me. I could not see it becoming or happening. So changing my mindset took some time, and also, so then, even with the plan that I had, going to commercial banks was very frustrating to get your very first loan. Because you remember, I was working for my parents, and I would even support them with fundraising money for their businesses. And I expected similar treatment. I expected similar treatment, but now I'm coming in as Magdalene, not as my father's daughter.
And Shoko knew.
And I would actually, before getting my first loan, I would even see my dad go in and get 3 loans before me, and I'm wondering what am I doing wrong?
Reality check, eh?
Yeah, so it was really difficult, very frustrating, and you're constantly reminded to be smaller
Yeah.
by the system. So, of course, meeting uh, like KCAC and GBF, they would offer you better, but not as much as you want.
Okay.
KCC would support mainly with training. They had a funding aspect which did not mature, but so they would try to get you to have this big vision, and once you try to fund it, you realize that the market is not willing to give you as much money. So when the money I requested I wanted from GBF, I had to go a bit lower. They offered me a bit lower, but you just take it and you move forward. Same during that period, there's something I noticed with institutions like KCIC, because soon after the next year, they had to take their next cohort. And they noticed that they were fundraising for their next cohort, and they had this number that they were looking for. And I realized for us entrepreneurs, we mostly get smaller to accept what is being offered. So if you go to the bank and the bank offers you,
you scale down your vision.
You scale
to
down your
fit
vision.
the funding that is.
But for them, but for KCSA, I noticed that they would have a plan, and they would have to fundraise and fund that particular plan. So it was an eye opener. It of course took me some time to even get the courage to say that I need this particular number, that I can have a plan and then finance the plan. Other than I have this money, how do we survive to get through the year? Yeah, so switching that mindset, it took me a lot of time to get banks to fund, to even approve my loans.
Did they eventually?
Yes, but very small tickets. Because then they would say, no, let us first try you with this small money, and then we see how you repay. And now you realize that even the person who has been taking small mobile loans is better than you because they have history. So now you have to start building your history as a borrower, so that the financial markets can understand you and trust you as a borrower. So we begin there. A very frustrating period, very frustrating season. But somehow we just march forward and do what needs to get done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Two things I'd like us to cover before we wrap up. One, the diversification of your products away from just flowers. Tell us a bit about that. What have you developed and what are you selling? And two, what does the future look like for you? I would assume that the funding journey continues and you now have a much more robust plan. So maybe you could respond to those two issues.
Now we not only have porridge flours, we have breakfast cereals, we have healthy snacks, we have edible oil, we make groundnut oil, we have nut butters as well. So our product range is within nuts and seeds, as we're trying to tap into the nutrients in these ingredients and trying to get as much value from them as possible to ensure that our customers are getting the nutrients that they need in the form that is
excellent.
Yes.
Okay.
And also that their bodies are able to receive and utilize them. Yes.
This new plan now, tell us about the future. What does it look like? How is the fundraising going? Do you have prospects of unlocking these funds? And what does the next 5 years look like for Mosoro Afya?
We have a very ambitious plan. And I know in my industry, in our food products, a lot of us would go to supermarkets like we did this year, because supermarkets have a very wide reach. A lot of people are shopping there. But something I have learned during this period is that it is better to have direct access to your customer. So how do you creating channels to be able to sell to your customer? It is more stable, better for your cash flows compared to the credit terms that the supermarkets would be offering us, or the cost to manage. You'd assume that a supermarket would place a very big order and you'd get very good profits, but managing that particular order would cost you a lot of money. And sometimes you end up making no money again if, once even the payment is delayed. So we want to increase our B2C sales. That's where we are focusing. It is 70% plus of our sales right now. So we want to put more effort there to be able to communicate to our customers using our content, to be able to sell using ads and grow our numbers.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the investment in the capex side on the factory floor?
Yes, by the end of the year, by the end of 2026, we are looking to increase our production capacity. So this means getting bigger machinery. This means strengthening our value chain, working even more closely with farmers to ensure that we do not have gaps in production. Yeah.
Do you see yourself increasing your range of products and tapping more into other locally available
Yes.
seeds, nuts? You know, there are
Yes.
some. There's a lot, like you said, you interact with the Harriet's Botanicals as a business colleague, but there are so many African nuts, you know, that have oil producing potential. Is that a line that you would consider in the future?
Yes, it is. It is more sustainable when you're sourcing locally, and that is something we are learning. It is more stable when you're sourcing locally, as you have better control of your value chain. And actually, a grain that I'm very interested in is amaranth, which would have up to 18% of protein. You would compare it to oats. Oats would have about 6% of protein. So our amaranth is better. You can do much more with amaranth compared to oats. So looking into such ingredients to be able to tap into their potential. Yes, we look to increase our product range, as our model now would be heavy on B2C. So we want to increase our customers' bucket size. We want to offer them as many solutions as possible to support their families.
Excellent. What a fabulous story, Magdalene. What a fabulous story.
Okay.
Congratulations on your journey thus far.
Thank you.
And we wish you all the very best as you continue tackling this African entrepreneurial experience with all its challenges and opportunities. We'll now give you a chance to speak to the audience and tell them where they can find you, where they can find your products. If you have social media handles, portals, where they can actually connect with you and sample your products if they're not doing so already. Yeah.
Okay, you can find us in Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, on X as Mosoro Afya. You can also call us or send us a message on WhatsApp, 0705 589 623, or shop on our website, mosoroafya.co.ke, where you'll get a wide range of solutions that can support you, your children, your parents. Actually, this gifting season coming to Christmas, it is we should change and start to gift people good health.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent. That's a fabulous, fabulous suggestion. Magdalene, thank you very much
Thank you
for being
having me.
our guest on the African Do podcast. It's a really joy and privilege to see you and how you're executing. This podcast is about excellent Africans executing excellently, and you do fit the bill. So,
Asante.
asante sana. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of this episode. We have had a fabulous conversation with Magdalene Muthee of Mosoro Afya. Check them out, as she has said, at mosoroafya.co.ke and see what they have to offer and maybe even sample and try their products. We look forward to being with you in the next episode, and thank you very much for being with us. Asante sana.